Such allegations are an attempt to smear China. China also accused the U.S. of using democracy as a political tool and pursuing cyber hegemony. This accusation in response to the discussions about establishing the Alliance for the Future of the Internet during the ongoing Democracy Summit in the U.S. President
You sound like an owl.
two-day virtual summit has already drawn a backlash from some of the United States adversaries and nations that weren't invited. Ambassadors to the U.S. from China and Russia wrote a joint essay describing the Biden administration as exhibiting a Cold War mentality.
You sound like an owl.
Shane Smith are accused of reckless arson, which means starting a blaze by accident, but to such a degree that it was considered reckless. The fire burned more than 300 square miles from east of Sacramento to the state line, threatening prominent recreational areas near the iconic lake. It's become a common phrase. If you see something, say something. The Postal Service is asking for our help.
You sound like an owl.
$19, but according to GasBuddy.com, some drivers in Buckhead are paying as much as $3.89 a gallon. In Locust Grove, though, drivers are reporting prices as low as $2.69.
Let's take a live look at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. A move by the FAA could affect flights from our area. The FAA has new rules banning pilots from using automatic landing systems at low altitudes because of possible 5G interference. The network could disrupt navigation and cause flight diversions. The agency also says 5G could interfere with the device pilots use to land when there's poor visibility. The FAA plans to issue more specific information to identify which airports will be affected by the restrictions.
Alexa can now help protect your aging family members. Amazon launching its Alexa Together service meant to give senior citizens more independence. It allows older users to call for help and can track if someone falls if they're using a sensor. You can also help your loved one remotely by adding contacts and reminders onto their devices. Amazon is offering a free trial for 6 months, and then after that, it's $20 a month.
All right, so
You sound like an owl.
Here in this chamber reminds me of what happened 400 years ago when people were clinging to the fact that the sun revolved around the earth.
Most Republicans say they're not against the vaccines. They're opposing the president's strategy.
He's been guilty of medical malpractice. I'm a doctor. I am pro-vaccine, but I'm anti-mandate.
And while that move to repeal vaccine mandates for businesses passed the Senate, it will likely get blocked by Democrats in the House. In Washington, I'm Doug Lusader for Good Day Atlanta. Well,
You sound like an owl.
the agency said after the briefing that the time scale is from the start of development until approval. Cavalieri added that the EU agency expects to give the green light to a fifth vaccine for use in the 27-nation bloc before the end of the year, with a decision on a request for authorization of American biotechnology company Novavax coronavirus vaccine. Defense attorney
You sound like an owl.
On Capitol Hill about protecting kids online, but he stirred up more controversy by not backing away from a plan to tailor a version of the app toward kids directly. Instead, he says Instagram will offer new tools to protect young users, including one that encourages them to take breaks and starting this spring, letting the parents see how long their teens spend on Instagram and set limits. The company is also calling for a federal regulation.
We believe in more transparency and accountability, and we believe in more control.
The push to regulate social media platforms is gaining ground with bipartisan support on Capitol Hill, but it will still be challenging to get any legislation through Congress.
You sound like an owl.
Sure. Her job to make sure their employees want to stay.
Pandemic has shown to us as employers that we can be empathetic towards employees.
She says that's
You sound like an owl.
Health officials are and will allow people as young as 16 to get a third Pfizer dose. The CDC still needs to give final approval. And the number of Americans fully vaccinated against COVID-19 has reached 200 million. New cases in the U.S. have climbed to an average of 119,000 a day. Deaths now run close to 1,600 a day on average, and hospitalizations are up 25% from a month ago. Health officials blame the increases almost entirely to the Delta variant.
You sound like an owl.
I just thought it was a glitch or something.
We work hard for our money. We've both been working since we were able to be in the workforce, and it just sucks that our money can just be taken away from us like that.
Coinbase sent a notification out to affected customers in October. The company says hackers used a large-scale email phishing campaign to trick customers into giving up their information. Coinbase does not cover any losses.
You sound like an owl.